Yo, peace and blessings to everybody. Hope everybody is doing well today on this fine Tuesday. Um, just wanted to come on here and make a part two of this because I was watching some prophetic videos and it was just reminding me of the word, and you know, I was listening to verses and things and how God feel about us and things like that. And one thing I want to say before I even start this video is that God does need you. You know, in my past videos, I explained, like, God doesn't really need us, but to be honest, God does need us. He does need warriors. He does need spirits around this earth to roam this earth and to help others, because a lot of people don't even want to help themselves. A lot of people don't pray for themselves. A lot of people don't really get the word of the Father and things like that. But the ones that do, we cannot hide no longer, And I was listening to that about a video, saying that, it's not good to stay hidden, because, a lot of people are in a mode of discouragement. A lot of people are in a mode of anxiety, depression, trying to find the Father, trying to find the Spirit, and dwell in this earth without any love at all. And this is how God expresses love to us. But before we start, we're going to read this verse. Is Proverbs chapter 16:32, and it says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city." Now, what I want to say again about our emotions is that, if we do give in to our emotions, we give in to our flesh. And, when we give in to our flesh, we do become selfish. We forget God's understanding. We forget our own, purpose in life. We go in on, vengeful thoughts, sad thoughts, even, sexual thoughts, things that were like habits to us. Like I told y'all again on my past video, I said, when I was giving into my own negative thoughts, it made me want to think about masturbating. It made me think about wanting to smoke again. It made me wanted to think about drinking my problems away, or hitting up the person that made me feel a certain way. But I have to learn to give it to God, and that's why I'm making this video, so we can all learn to give it to God. Now, one thing I'm gonna say again is, when we give in to our emotions, we give in to our flesh, and we gotta stop doing that, because you gotta understand that every action that you do in life, no matter what it is, you are leading by example, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. We are leading by example by everything that we do. Now, for example, if you go through something that, makes you feel discouraging, are you going to give in to that emotion to not, do what you are being called to do just because something discouraged you? So if you do that, then you leading by the example of the spirit of discouragement. You giving in to maybe slothfulness and laziness and wrath and things like that. But we got to learn to lead by example. And don't get me wrong, your emotions are valid. Trust me, God knows your feelings. He created emotions and things like that. But that does not mean that it's okay to give in to him. He gave us these things, and he gave us our emotions and our feelings and stuff like that to help us understand that it's two sides to who you are as a human being. You're gonna feel down sometime, and but that don't mean that it's okay to be down. You feel me? You got to learn how to climb out of that, because the bad times are here to teach us that we got to continue to grind through the bad times to get to the good time. We got to continue to grind through the trials and tribulations to make those become a life of prosperity and stuff like that. Not everything is not supposed to be good in life, unfortunately. He even says it's like war in heaven and stuff like that, because when it comes to, having good and evil, God gave us free will. He gave the angels free will. God has a will. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, he's showing us that no matter what goes on in our life, everything is a choice. Your reaction is a choice. You may not have a control over life, but you got control over your reaction and how you perceive to, do things in life. So this is why he says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit is then he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." It's a lot when it comes to emotions and things like that. But God is just really teaching us control. Now, let's think about Jesus when he got angry and things like that. When people hear that Jesus got angry, they automatically try to disqualify him as being holy. But it also says God gets mad at things like that, right? But why do God get mad? What is God reacting to? Evilness. He's getting mad at the sin that we do. He's getting mad at disobedience. He's getting mad at him or us, you know, taking over other gods rather than going to him, the true and loving God, right? See, it depends on how we use our emotions. That's where we got to learn to, you know, start to present ourselves, how we use our emotions. We got to continue to go crazy when it benefits us in the right way. That's what I'm trying to say. We got to continue to go crazy when it benefits us in the right way. So when it comes to control, you got to learn how to use your emotions righteously, and that's not under your own righteousness, under God's righteousness. Because you might be angry about something that you think is right, the whole time you might be wrong. And I fell into this multiple times in my life. I probably still fall into this multiple times in my life. But you might be judging something that you have like not even stepped in the eyes of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be judging a person when you haven't even been in their shoes to understand why they might be even committing the things that they are doing. And this is why we have to learn to use our emotions righteously under the Lord, though. Because people are always watching you. Whether they don't like you or they like you, they are always watching you, no matter what. You might feel like you hidden, but somebody always got their eye on you. Believe it or not, somebody got their eye on you. And the way you show yourself or the way you present yourself in life, they might have a chance of copying them emotions and feeling like they right because they seen you do it. But no matter what goes on in life, learn how to let the right emotions out at the right time. And this is why a lot of men also, this is kind of off topic also, but this is why a lot of men have a lot of failure when it comes to, you know, finding a wife and things like that. Women are emotional, and when they see that another man is being emotional, they don't feel like that's being a leader. But it's okay to be emotional, man, but you have to learn how to use those emotions. Because a woman, trust me, they want to follow, which is why we a lot of things that are going on today, even with them being independent. If a woman is choosing to be independent, it's because she saw someone else do it greater than the other person that they always wanted to see do it. They saw somebody else be better than what they are really supposed to be following. And even men become followers because we are followers of Christ, right? But being a follower of Christ teach you how to be a leader. So at the end of the day, all I'm really just trying to say is that learn to control your emotions in the right places, and learn when to balance your flesh. You know, you got to learn how to use your flesh righteously under the Lord, because you can't escape your body at all, but you can learn to control it. And that's gonna be it for this video, y'all. Peace and blessings to everybody. Love everybody. We're gonna come back with more videos like this. I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Peace.